Part 24. The Summer Vacation Trip. I used to travel with my parents and brothers on summer vacation. All my brothers traveled around the country in cars together. Nearby, we visited Daebu Island, Shinruk Temple in Yeoju, Sokli Mountain in Cheongbuk, and other places far away. We also visited Dongyong Polyong, Gangwon Land Casino, The Cave in Jongsun, Byeonsun Peninsula in Jeollabuk-do, Haewondae in Busan, and Bulguksa Temple in Gyeongju. 1 year after my last trip with my parents, I took a trip to the past with my wife's parents, just like riding in a time machine. I headed to the front area of Gangwon-do, where my father-in-law always wanted to go. We decided to look for Hwacheon in the front area where my father-in-law used to live as a first-class military officer. At that time, the summer vacation was about to end, so there were few people on every road on the mountainside. When we passed the military road in Hwacheon, a soldier on guard at the entrance of the unit gave a hand salute to my car. I did not know if my car number was similar to the vehicle number of the unit commander, or if they mistook my father-in-law in the back seat for a commanding officer of the army. But the soldiers along the way also gave us several hand salutes. The first place we visited was not a tourist site, but the house where my wife was born. More than 50 years ago, my wife and her parents lived in this house, but it became empty. The garden was overgrown with weeds and was hard to reach. My mother-in-law said that the house site was ill-fated. I thought I would buy this house if I could afford it and use it as my wife's literary house. We traveled the area by car, but wherever we went, military units were surrounded by barbed wire fences and soldiers were on guard all over the place. Whenever my car passed in front of the troops, my father-in-law looked solemn, as if he were reminiscing about his youth. My father-in-law came down from Pyongyang to South Korea right after the liberation from Japan. He joined the Northwest Youth Corps, which was organized by the people from Pyongan-do, and served in the Korean Army. The Northwest Youth Corps is a predecessor of the Korean Army. Once the Korean War broke out, he fought in several battles. Not only my father-in-law, but also the young men of those days fought for their lives to protect our country. However, 60 years later, I feel bad that it seems to be seen as personal affairs of the past in our young society. After the Korean War, North Korea has repeatedly provoked South Korea. The provocation that we will never forget was the attack of the Blue House by the 124th North's Military Unit in North Korea on January 21st, 1968. At that time, 31 armed guerrillas crossed the military demarcation line and massacred not only soldiers and policemen, but also civilians. Finally, they failed to attack the presidential office, the Blue House, which was their ultimate goal. Immediately after that, there were 3 cases of Uljan Semchuk infiltration between October 30th, 1968 and November 2nd, 1968. In addition, they attempted to infiltrate the East Coast in Semchuk using a submarine. They also dug underground tunnels in several areas near the border to infiltrate South Korea. They carried out numerous provocations, including Aung San terror in Burma, the bombing of the KAL civil aircraft, the sinking of the South Korean warship in the Yellow Sea, and the shelling of Yongpyong Island. Kim Shin-jo, who was captured alive among armed guerrillas during the 121 incident, later became a pastor in South Korea. They say there is no freedom of religion in North Korea, and the people of North Korea are forced to follow Kim Il-sung's monolithic ideology. Kim Shim-jo seems to have been religiously saved in South Korea. I want to say to young people these days, please know the past and act rationally for your country. I would like to say that even if you are not dedicated to your country and people, you should rather act rationally for all of us than for individuals.